main questions that I see all the time is how to get the pattern onto the fabric, particularly the dark fabric, when you're going to do Sashiko. I've seen lots of suggestions, and if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that this is my favorite tool for doing that. It's a ceramic pencil, and I usually draw on there. I also use transfer paper and some of the heat erasable pens sometimes. So I have seen a lot of people say they use something like this, which is a stabilizer transfer sheet. This particular one's called Peel and Stitch. And so I've seen people posting about it, but I've never tried it because I just really didn't think that it would work. So, will it work? I'm about to find out. I've bought some. I'm going to follow the instructions on the box, and I'm going to give it a go and see if it'll prove me wrong. So, let me just open the box here and we'll have a look what's inside. The instructions for this one are right here on the bottom. It does say that you can print or trace your design onto the sheet, then cut out the design. So let's have a look inside. Yep, are these sheets. This side does look a bit like printer paper, and this side, I don't know if you can see a different, but it's kind of fabricy looking. It feels more like a fabric type of a finish. So I'm going to get my design. I'm going to take it to the printer and copy it onto one of these sheets, and then we'll go from there. I've printed my design. You print it on the fabric side of the cloth, the soft side of the cloth. And as you can see, it shows up pretty well. The first one I did, I printed on the wrong side because I didn't realise. It does say you can draw or print. So rather than waste it, I just held it up to the light and traced it on the fabric on the back so that I can still use this and not just waste it. So the next thing I'm going to do is peel this off. That peels off really easily. And then where I want to put this, I'm just going to put it right there. And then press. So the box said press. I thought it meant press with an iron, but it actually just means press it on there because it is really quite sticky on the back. You can feel that. And I think you can see that it's pressed on there quite well. The design does show for me to stitch it. I'm going to just try and stitch this in the normal way I do Sashiko, where I load a lot of stitches onto the needle and pull it through, and that's the part that I think might be a problem. And I have to say that when I bought this, it does say on the box, it doesn't say that it's for Sashiko. It does say specifically that it's for hand embroidery, applique projects, and cross stitching and other sewing endeavours. So we'll see if it works for this or not. And also, just for an experiment, I have some silk here. At some point I want to make a quilt with some a silk quilt with some Sashiko on it, and I've experimented a couple of times doing Sashiko on silk. I've been quite pleased with the outcome, really. So this is the one I did print correctly on the side I was supposed to. And I'm just going to peel that off, and then I'm going to stick it on this silk, and I'll also try sewing through it on there. And then this will also tell me whether or not whatever it is, the sticky stuff that makes it stick to the fabric, it'll tell me whether or not it comes off silk easily, which, you know, silk is can be kind of not that great for washing and everything. So I'm just having a little bit of trouble peeling this off. There we go. Put that out of the way, and I'm just going to put it over here in the corner because if I use this, I'll just cut the corner of the piece off. So stuck that down on there, and it's stuck perfectly well on the silk, just the same as the cotton. And so now I'll go ahead and do some Sashiko on it, and we'll see how it works. Let's try sewing and see how this works. I'm just going to use white thread. It's always my favourite just to do white thread on dark blue fabric. It's the kind of colouring I like the best. So I'm starting with a knot because nobody's going to see the back of this. The line is really easy to see, even though, you know, I just traced it through, and I only used a pencil as well. Okay. So this is how I usually do Sashiko, in and out, loading the fabric onto my needle as I stitch. This length of this little antenna on the butterfly is a fairly straight line, and so I would do that all in one stitch if I was stitching normally. So let me push that through. This is the part I thought would be hard. I kind of suspected that the kind of sticky stuff would make it hard for it to for the thread to pull through, but that actually did fine. I'm still going to do my usual tension control because I'm just not sure how the stabilizer will affect the fabric here. Start going down the side of the fabric head here, and again this part I would think it might have the effect of making my stitches slightly larger, which actually is still okay. I tend to stitch quite small, so yeah, probably could put more on there, but I'm just going to pull that through, play it safe, and then we'll try it out on the silk. All right, so up to now that seems to be working just fine. So let me pin my needle into there, and I'll just put that to one side. And at the end of the video, if you stay tuned, I will come back because I'm going to show you how it comes out. I'm going to show you when I try and wash the stabilizer off, because you know it's supposed to wash off with water, how that works. So all right, so this is the one on silk. I've already threaded a needle. I'm going to use this nice variegated. I thought the green would look quite nice on this this color. Just tie my knot here. Just put that to one side. Okay, and again I'll just start with the antenna here. Silk's probably going to get a bit creased up with sewing, but I think sometimes you can iron silk. You just have to be just a little bit careful with it. I did iron a few creases out of this before I started sewing on it. This is a much shorter little section. So, okay. Didn't really feel any different to the cotton I just sewed through. Seems like that went fine. I'm just going to carry my thread at the back of the work to the next point. Come up at the other end. And of course, as always, I am going to leave that just very slightly loose at the back. If you was carrying it a long distance, if I was going from here to here, then not only would I leave it a little bit loose, but I'd also do an extra stitch over the stitch I did, so that if it ever did get caught, it would be nice and stable and not pull out of place. Okay, just go back to the beginning point here. Okay. So up to now, that seems like it's working just fine. As I say, I will come back when I've completed both of these, and we'll see how the next step goes. But up to now, I'm pretty pleased with what's happening. Here are my two pieces that I've completed the Sashiko on. This one is the cotton one, and here is the silk one. I actually cut some off the silk because I'm not going to use all that anyway, and it was easy to handle. And of course they do look a little bit screwed up from handling, but when I'm through with everything, I will iron them. So really I didn't have any problems sewing through this peel and stick. I would say I probably did less stitches at once, loaded less fabric onto the needle at one time, because it was just a little bit more difficult to pull through. But it wasn't too bad, not enough to put me off using it. I quite often do machine applique and do Sashiko on that because I like that combination, and it wasn't any more difficult than working with that fabric, so that really wasn't a problem for me. So I do have a bowl of cold water here. This is what it says to rinse it with. So I'm just bring that into my camera, and this will be the test whether this comes out. So I'm going to do the cotton one first. Not just sure how much agitation and things this needs, but I'm dipping it into the water. And let's see. Feels like soft glue coming off it. So I have a feeling that I may need to rinse this more than once. So, but anyway, for the moment, I'm just gonna rinse that off. Yeah, I'll definitely need to take that and rinse it in a bigger bowl of water than I'm using. But I can feel that it's coming away. So let me just put that to one side for a second, and I'm going to put the silk in there, and we'll see how this reacts. I'm not just sure I should even be putting silk in water like this actually, so this will be a test to see. And again, it feels like I can feel the glue softening, ready to come off. And yeah, there's enough there in my water like that, so looks like it's going to come out. But I'm going to take both of these to the sink, give them some more rinsing, and then I'll allow them to dry, and then I'll show you the results, and we'll see what they both look like. Hi, it's early in the morning, but I'm filming now. I wanted to see what the result was, so I couldn't wait to get my pieces out and have a look. So of course they were pretty creased up with washing, because I washed them and then I just hung them over a rail to dry. I didn't put them in my dryer. And so this is the result. So first of all, the cotton, lay that one there. I'm gonna have to move this a little bit where you can see it. So as you can see, that's really a success. I like the way it turned out. All the residue is gone. I don't feel anything on this cloth, and that was just with rinsing it out with the cold water. I didn't go ahead and actually do a whole proper wash on it, but just rinsing it out has made it look like that. The only thing that I would say is, obviously now, whatever I put this into, all my other cloth will have to be pre-washed as well if I'm doing it. Say I was to put it in a quilt to decorate clothing or something like that, then that wouldn't matter at all. But it is something to consider when you're quilting. So I'll have to mark this as pre-washed so that I know what I'm doing with it, as I'm not actually going to use it right now. So that one, yep, I'm wrong. It's a success, and I probably will use this again. And then on the silk one, let me get that one out to show you as well. So I really think that one looks pretty good too. I hold it up a little bit where you can see it better. I think maybe I should have used a little bit darker thread. This thread on this background isn't as bold as I think that I would like it to be. So I think that, again, this is fairly successful. I'm not sure that I would recommend this for silk, because with the silk you just have to be gentle with it. So the washing and the handling and the ironing that I did, you know, I'm not sure that would be safe on all kinds of silk. So I think that I may use this again, but it will be on a you know, a one-by-one basis. I've got a feeling that silk might not stand up to this treatment, or other silks might not stand up to this treatment as well as this one did. It doesn't iron that great, but I mean, it looks okay. And I did notice that where the peel and stick was, it's slightly stiffer there than the rest of the silk. But I think that could just be maybe I didn't quite wash it in, you know, maybe I didn't quite rinse the stuff out enough. So that just could be on me. And maybe with another wash, a proper wash, this would come out. So, but all in all, yeah, that was pretty successful. This is the actual product that I was using. It's actually a Missouri Star company product. Peel and stitch, get 10 sheets, and this one came with some patterns that I'm probably not going to use. So I didn't really set up for this to be a review of this particular kind of peel and stitch. It just happened to be the one that I bought. But having said that, yes, I do think it's a good product. I liked using it. I'll probably use it again. I'm not sure that it'll replace always my other methods. You know, I'll probably still use both, but I do think this is an option to use. Now, this was an experiment. This is the first time I've ever used anything like this. I know there are other brands, and I really don't know anything about those. So if you use any of those, you can let me know in the comments whether you think they're good, what you think to them. So that's my video. Am I wrong? I guess I am wrong. Okay, if you liked this video, please subscribe, because I am a new YouTuber, and that would really be great for me. And thanks for watching.